Good Wednesday morning, everyone, and thanks so much for starting off your day with us. I'm Allison Ross.
I'm Kyle Lieberman. Hopefully you are getting ready.
And relaxed.
Yeah, relax before the calm before the storm, right? Literally,
yes.
In all ways. Let's check in with Matt Jordan to find out what we mean.
Yes, we have a very typical weather system rolling on through right now. When I say system, usually associated with low pressure or high pressure, but what you care about is the roadways, or if you happen to be flying, and there could be a little bit of complications with that because it's a fairly strong system. We're seeing a bit of snow, especially at the higher elevations. We're talking the Cascade Passes, though, so about 4,500 feet and above. Klamath Falls, for example, right around 4,000 feet. So could see a little bit of flurry activity as you go over the next couple days, but nothing that's really going to ruin your plans. A lot of rain associated with this system passing through, though. So for the coast, 1 to 5 inches of rain with some very high winds as well. So if you're driving around, could be a lot of issues with that. The Cascade Passes, 1 inch to several feet of snow. Now that's a wide range, of course, but we're talking Crater Lake down to like Lake of the Woods or Diamond Lake, for example. Highway 140 could be affected with 1 inch or 2 of snow. Rogue Valley could see a fair amount of rain as well, something we really need. But one of the questions is how slick do those roadways get, especially when we've been so dry over the last, seems like 2 months. And then winds with a high wind advisory could see some gusts up to 40 to 45 miles per hour. Back to you.
Matt, thanks so much. 6:31 your time right now. Our top story this half hour, Medford police asking for your help in identifying a man who robbed a gas station at knife point. Police say this happened at the Astro gas station on South Riverside Avenue just before noon on Saturday. The suspect is described as a white man in his early 20s and is about 5'2" to 5'4". He was wearing all black clothing with a handkerchief over his face. There is a reward of up to $1,000 for any information leading to his arrest.
The woman that died in the head-on crash on Highway 199 earlier this week near Cave Junction has been identified as 89-year-old Evelyn Parmalee. Troopers say she attempted to turn left onto Pinewood Way from 199 Monday when she crashed head-on with another vehicle. 2 people were taken to the hospital with serious injuries. Oregon State Police are continuing their investigation this morning.
We're continuing to learn more about last month's deadly officer-involved shooting north of Klamath Falls near Myrtle Point. The Oregon Department of Justice completed their investigation yesterday and identified the officer involved as Corporal Christopher Zupan. Zupan was justified in his use of deadly force against Philip Mowaskis. Now, police say that he assaulted the state trooper after a narcotics dog alerted that there were drugs likely in his vehicle. Zupan is now back to working full-time at the Klamath Falls Police Department.
Medford police are investigating a series of locker thefts at local gyms this morning on Sunday and Monday. Planet Fitness and Superior Fitness in Medford were targeted by a theft. Police say that thief broke into lockers in the woman's room and stole purses and car keys, then took off with 2 Subarus. Officials believe at least 1 suspect is a woman. They suggest those going to the gym to leave your belongings at home and keep your car keys near you while you work out.
Now to a follow-up story we reported on last month about a California wine company's misleading labels. According to the Oregonian, the Federal Alcohol and Tobacco Tax and Trade Bureau ruled on Friday that Copper Cane Winery must make it clear their wines at the center of the dispute were made in California, despite using mostly Oregon grapes. California wines are only required to have 75% of California grapes, whereas Oregon requires 100%. 6:34 on the dot. Now to the latest in the wildfires in Northern California. The death count from the Camp Fire has increased to 81 people and 870 people are still missing and unaccounted for. Crews are working on suppression efforts this morning and many air tankers are dumping water on the flames as long as they can before that rain comes. The flames have burned over 152,000 acres and is 75% contained.
The incoming wet weather has out-of-state crews being released from that campfire. That includes Southern Oregon strike teams who are now back home. The Oregon Department of Forestry just got home last night. A strike team made up of agencies from Ashland to the Illinois Valley had been in Northern California since the 9th. Firefighters say the devastation in Butte County is so shocking they can't even begin to describe it.
Now, there still are several local agencies on the ground in Butte County. They are tasked with the difficult job of going through destroyed homes and still searching for some of the missing people. From Southern Oregon, Jackson, Josephine Douglas, Klamath, and Lake County Sheriff's Offices have sent multiple deputies and dozens of search and rescue volunteers. And in Northern California, Sheriff's Offices in Siskiyou and Modoc and Del Norte counties have also called in search and rescue crews who are working this morning.
Looking ahead at 6:35, with the holiday season in full swing, the California Highway Patrol is starting the maximum enforcement period today. MEP starts at 6 p.m. and ends at noon on Sunday. CHP will have all available officers on patrol, so make sure to drive the speed limit, always wear your seatbelt, and keep your eyes on the road. According to the Automobile Club of Southern California, 50 people were killed in car accidents during this time last year. Seatbelts remain one of the simplest ways to stay safe while traveling by car. And if you are hitting the road, weather could be a concern this morning. Matt Jordan, what's going on out there?
Well, essentially, we're seeing something we normally see in November. The real issue is it's a lot of November all in a short amount of time, and it's coming at a very busy travel days. Allison just mentioned, with all of this, we've been fairly dry over the last few months, really over the last 6 months or so, and because of that, there's a lot of oil that's built up in the roadways. It kind of just settled there. When you have rain, like the system that you can see behind me right now, when you have that, you tend to see fairly slick road conditions. So not only are the roadways slick, but we also have some high winds. Not only do we have high winds and roadways that are on the rather slick side of things, all that rain is coming down in a short amount of time, and over the higher elevations you can see, especially east of the Cascades, seeing some snow mixing in with that as well. So while this isn't unusual, it is a system that we're used to year after year. It's just coming at a time where there is an extra concern for safety as you're driving around. So definitely take your time. I know we say that a lot, but this is probably the time to do it. For the coast, rain and high winds, and even seeing the slight chance of a thunderstorm or two out off of the coast, fairly typical of these November systems. For the coast, for the West Valleys, rain mainly later this afternoon and evening with those gusty winds, highs in the 40s and 50s. And east of the Cascades, rain and snow showers with snow above 4,500 feet. Back to you.
Matt, thank you. 6:36 is the time right now on this Wednesday morning. NBC5 News at Sunrise is just getting started. Coming up, President Trump seems to be siding with Saudi Arabia in the Khashoggi case, how people are reacting.
And preparations underway right now for the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, what people are going to be watching today.
But as we go to break, here's a look at this morning's lowest gas according to GasBuddy.com. Stay with us. We'll be right back.